What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel that helps animals and another Tarkovology video. My name is Omni and we're coming at you straight from Dogwater Studios, and we're here to teach you how to use Escape from Tarkov presets. So first of all, to unlock the Tarkov preset tool, you need a workbench. Once you have that unlocked, you're going to want to verify that you have adequate inventory space behind the weapon that you're constructing. When I say behind the weapon, I mean, generally speaking, you would think that it attaches parts in a forward motion just like this, but it actually does it behind the weapon. So if you start here, you'll have adequate space behind the weapon. However, if you were to start the build with your piece here, it's going to try to expand this weapon backwards, and you're going to get an error message which will force you to move out of the preset and just restart the whole process. So when you want to make sure you've planned enough space for your built product here, but then in addition to that, you need space for all of the parts you're going to be purchasing here above or below as well. But on top of that, you also need space for the parts that are going to be coming off of the weapon. So you really do need quite a bit of space before you start, just to keep yourself from wasting time. But once you've got adequate space, the money to cover your build, and you've also got that workbench where you've unlocked presets, you can get to it a couple of different ways. You can either use the preset menu down here at the bottom of the screen. This basically just loads you into all the stock presets, which you can select using the drop down menu on the right, or the buttons on the left here to load an existing preset when you hit open. Or you can right click any gun in your inventory and click on the edit preset button. This is handy if you pick up a gun you've never built before, you want to look at the parts, or you just want to modify an existing gun slightly differently with a different preset. So you can see here it loads up all these attachments for us already. Okay, so you've got everything you need to open presets. What do you do with them? Why do you have them? So there are two basic functions of Escape from Tarkov presets. One is exploratory building, and this basically will allow you to see any type of attachment that you have explored in game or discovered in game and attach it to that particular weapon. So for example, when we take this down to the lower, we can explore each and every part, and if you click this drop down menu on the left hand side, this is the most important part here, by the way, this will list all of the stats for this particular weapon, and it will also show you how these particular components change the stats on that weapon in the Escape from Tarkov preset. So you can basically build from scratch with what you have available and just see how each component affects the statistics of the gun. This allows you to tailor your firearms towards your playstyle, whether that's more of a recoil-based playstyle or ergo. But this is a handy tool for just learning how each firearm works and what attachments are available for it. The second and probably more common use for the preset menu in Escape from Tarkov is going to be either mass building weapons or just building them more rapidly than you would normally be able to with the old drag and drop system. Back in the day, we used to have to know exactly what attachments were for the weapon. You'd have to purchase those attachments manually through the vendor, then drag each attachment onto the gun or use the modding system. Whereas now with the presets, we don't have to do that. So let's say you wanted to create a bunch of these M4 builds right here. So we're going to take our stock lower and make sure that we have enough room. So I'm going to place him way down here. We're going to go to edit preset, and then we're going to hit open. And then we're going to put in our search term for our whatever we named our build. And then we're going to open that particular preset. So that's not an M4. That's actually right. Yeah, that's an M4. So it allows us to select which of the M4s we have in our inventory, since we have a bunch of different ones. This is the gun that you want to apply that particular preset to. Obviously, we want to build the one that's not built yet, so we hit apply to that weapon. Now, once we're here, we actually have to go in and purchase the parts. So we can do this a couple different ways. You can hit the find parts button, or you can just hit assemble. It'll take you to this parts manifest here. You hit buy parts, and then right now it looks a little funny because all of the traders are on a barter only for the end of wipe, but here you would see pricing, and then you would generally want to check off owner type traders, because this would allow you to purchase through the flea market. See, now we can actually buy some of these parts, but in the event that you don't have all of those parts unlocked, that's the button you'll hit to disable that filter so that you can purchase the parts that you don't have unlocked through the vendor on the flea market, but you need to be very careful because obviously buying things from the flea market is pretty expensive. So after that, you just hit the purchase all button, and then it takes you back to the assembly menu. You click that button one more time. This would not pop up, and it would just assemble that firearm for you, provided that you have enough room, you had enough money to buy the parts, etc. So then you've got your built gun, and if you want to repeat this process multiple times, once you have this preset up, you just go to select weapon. Okay, so if you have multiple copies of, like, say, a lower, like this M4, you just keep going back to that select weapon, changing the weapon you have that you want to build, and then you go through that same process of buying the parts, automatically applying them, and you're done. It is also worth noting that when you're buying these parts from this menu here, you don't necessarily have to leave this menu. So you can just click off or click back on this box once the purchases are made, and then it'll allow you to purchase them all over again. So let's say you go into this knowing that you're gonna build 4 different M4s. All you do is, once you purchase the first set of parts, you click this button again, it pops up all those parts all over again, and then you just purchase them all again, and that will allow you to, instead of going back and forth, you can just push the build button 4 times in a row after selecting each weapon. So I'll save you some time as well. Well, I hope this video on how to use Escape from Tarkov presets has helped you a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below, or just pop into the Discord. I'm always willing to help people. Until next time.